Good morning, crew. We miss you all and hope you're having a great day. I have Pug Pals again today, and we're going to read chapters 5 and 6. Where we left off, Sunny's favorite toy, Mr. Bunny, was lost because of her little sister, Rosie. It flew out the window and into somebody's car. So we're going to have some really fun chapters to read today, and I hope you enjoy. As we're reading today, I really want us to think about is there a new problem? What other problems might come up? Because we already have the problems that Sunny doesn't love having a new baby sister and that Mr. Bunny is lost. Are we going to have any new problems come up as we go in the story? All right, let's get reading. Chapter 5. An hour later, Sunny's rumbly tummy demanded to be fed. So she stomped downstairs. She banged around in the kitchen, slamming the cupboard doors and drawers as she climbed onto the counter to get some of her favorite cheesy crunchies to cheer herself up. I shouldn't have to hide upstairs, she grumbled to herself. I was here first. I should get to stay in the living room with the cushions and the toys. Rosie should go somewhere else. Once Sunny finished her snack and cleaned up, she stormed into the living room. I'm staying here, Rosie. I don't care where you go, but you can't stay in this room while I'm here. Sunny blinked. Rosie wasn't there. A cool breeze fluttered through Sunny's fluffy black ears. Oh no! The one thing her human had asked her to do was to take good care of Rosie, and now Rosie was outside somewhere. Alone. Rosie wouldn't know how to avoid the big oak tree down the street where Mittens, the meanest cat in town, liked to lurk. She wouldn't know that Mrs. Carswell was very particular about her lawn and would run out yelling if any dog ever tried to squat or lift a leg on it. Sunny ran to the closet to get her gear. She had to go out and find Rosie before her human got back home. I can do this. I'm no different than Officer Bert, sniffing out someone's trail, right? Sunny stepped outside and took 3 big sniffs. She followed the faint odor of Rosie's corn chip smell down the street. As she passed by the neighboring houses, someone called out from behind a fence. Look who's finally out of the house by herself, Butter said. And off a leash, Toki said. Where could she be going? It's not like she has any friends to visit. Sunny pulled her hood tight around her head to block out the sounds of mean laughter. Rosie was right. Butter and Toki weren't nice, and right now Sunny didn't have time for their nonsense. Ignoring their taunts, she ran after Rosie's scent into the nearby park. She didn't have to go very far before she heard a voice. Chapter 6. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to lose Mr. Bunny. It was Rosie. Hawks Park. Do not feed the hawks. Before Sunny could call out, she heard a second voice, low and growly. It's all your fault. I'm the boss here, and you have to do everything I say, so get out. Frowning, Sunny continued to hoard the voices. Rosie was sitting in front of a lumpy pile of rocks, mud, twigs, and leaves. My belly and bottom aren't that big, Sunny thought. Sunny was about to storm in and yell, then Rosie hugged the fake Sunny. I said I was sorry, said Rosie. I can fix this, I promise. Rosie hopped back and broke off one of fake Sunny's arms. Excuse me, can I borrow this for a second? Rosie scratched some lines into the ground. This is where we last saw Mr. Bunny, when he fell into a car. Mittens said the car turned right at the end of the block. Rosie sat back and rubbed her arm. Mittens was helpful, but he didn't have to get so mad and slap me just because I wanted to see what his ears tasted like. Rosie made a face and shuddered. They definitely were not as good as yours, Sunny. Sunny felt so guilty watching Rosie play act with fake Sunny. Rosie hadn't run away. She'd gone off in search of Mr. Bunny. Sunny hadn't been making it easy for Rosie. She knew that the little pugling looked up to her. Sunny made some loud noises to announce her arrival. Snort, snort, toot, toot. Rosie jumped up, knocking over a pile of rocks. Who's there? It's me, Sunny. You came looking for me? The little hopeful expression on Rosie's face made Sunny feel even worse about her treatment of Rosie the past few days. Sunny pulled Rosie to her side. Of course I came looking for you. You're my sister. Come on, I'll take us back home. Rosie hesitated. I can't leave yet. I haven't found Mr. Bunny. It's okay, Sunny said. Forget about Mr. Bunny. What's most important is that I bring you back home. But I'm close to finding him. Rosie held up a small piece of orange fuzz. See? A clue. He's close by. I know it. We can't just give up now. What would Officer Bert do? Sunny didn't want to get Mr. Bunny back. She already safely recovered Rosie. Still had plenty of time before their human came back home. She nodded. Okay, let's go find him. All right, crew. As we were reading today, I asked you to think about, is there a new problem? Is there something else going on? One of the things that we always do when we're not sure is we can look back. So we already knew that our problems in this book at the very beginning were that, Sunny doesn't love having her new sister Rosie and that Mr. Bunny's lost. Well, Mr. Bunny's still lost, but it seems like they have a new problem or a new thing happening, which is, at the very end, let's reread. Sunny did want to get Mr. Bunny back. She already safely recovered Rosie, and they still had plenty of time before their human came back home. Oh, so it seems like in this chapter, there was a problem that we weren't sure about before, which is, where was Rosie? So that was a problem that they solved very quickly, and then the problem of where Mr. Bunny is kind of new, because instead of Sunny going by herself to find Mr. Bunny, they're going to go together, and now there's a clue. So sometimes we have changes to our problems, or problems get solved halfway through. I really hope you've enjoyed this chapter, and we're going to keep on reading this tomorrow. All right, bye crew, have a great day.